Dude.
Yeah.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 15th. It is now 12:13. Meeting of the Town of Brookhaven's Local Development Corporation. First order of business. Roll call, Mr. Callahan, Hallie. Here. Mr. Trotta, Mr. Barone here, a quorum is present, and via Zoom, Anne Marie Scheit. First order of business then is the minutes of our meeting of May 27th. I'll entertain a motion. For a second.
Second.
Any questions? Corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Lori?
Okay, included in your packages is the results, the operating results from January 1st through June 30th. There's been no activity in the LDC other than our annual admin fees and our recurring expenses. I'm also going to read you our standard payroll. Taxes have been paid and withholdings have been paid in a timely manner in accordance with all applicable federal and state guidelines. And all regulatory reports have been filed timely. Is there any questions regarding any of my reports?
Hearing none, I need a motion to accept Lori's report. There a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Lisa, you.
Okay, so we have one application on the LDC agenda. It is for Jefferson Ferry. Everything was included in your package. There's an application and a cover letter. This, just to summarize it quickly, is a refinance of the outstanding Series 2016 bonds. It's approximately $26 million. We have representatives here from the project if anybody needs, has any questions. Do you guys have any questions?
Probably just want to give us a quick update. There's what's going on Jefferson Ferry, so everybody's aware.
Sure, yeah, I mean, it's been a little while since we were here for our financing in 2020, which financed our expansion project, so.
Sorry, can you just step upwards? Just the camera needs to pick you up, that's all.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. I'm Bob Caulfield. I'm the CEO and president of Jefferson's Ferry. So since we were here last time in 2020, we've completed our expansion project. So we added 60 independent living apartments, memory care services to our life plan community. So we are a full campus with independent living, residential housing, assisted living, memory care services, and skilled nursing. So over the last several years, we've been completing that project. We're actually in our last phase now. And our 2016 bonds that we had financed, obviously in 2016, we have the opportunity to refinance those. The earliest we could do it is August 1st. And based on working with our underwriters, H.J. Sims, which is a firm we've used for a number of years now for our financings, we've been able to work an arrangement where the interest rates are lower. It'll save on a present value basis our residents' costs of about $2.5 million. Since we started the phase one project back in 20, we've gone through and have done some other renovations throughout the campus to bring everything up and be modernized to, so it looks all the same. And so that's why we're asking in this refinancing that we're going to reimburse ourselves, put money back on our balance sheet of about $3 million. So even with those equations, we can still maintain same level debt service we have now under our 2016 bonds and provide a present savings for the next 10 years on those payments. So, we're here to submit that application to do that. We would like to close on that financing certainly after August 1st, probably sometime in mid-August to early September, and would work with, our financing team to get that closing completed, certainly before the end of the year, if not before the end of September.
Questions from the board?
Your organization has a stellar reputation, and the individuals that were with you and couldn't say enough about the care they received there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we have probably about 400, 500 people on our campus, and some come and stay and some stay for a long time. So it's really about the culture that the residents got. So thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah,
Thank you.
already gone.
Appreciate that.
And just about everybody who lives in the three villages like I do knows somebody who is there. That's what I meant. I'm not sure I think it's the age issue.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, those.
I need a
We're
resolution
indemnified.
to accept the
So
application.
move.
A
Second,
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Lisa, we need anything else for this one?
The only thing that we're discussing is possibly moving the August 19th board meeting to the morning instead of the afternoon. Anybody have
That
any
would be my
issue?
recommendation.
That
Let
was,
me
yeah, that
check.
was Mitch's request.
August 19th. What time you, whatever you want to say, I'm good.
Probably 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? That's fine.
Marty,
That's good.
Anne Marie?
Trying to find my calendar at the moment. Oh, wait a minute. I got it. It was hiding under a napkin. Okay,
Speak up.
that was August 19th.
Correct.
August 19th.
Annette?
Great.
But talk would be better.
Mitch, can you
Great.
work with me?
10 is fine.
Okay, it'll be 10 o'clock on the 19th.
Okay. Sure.
10
Lisa
o'clock.
knows me
Okay.
now.
You'll send out new notifications.
Yes.
Yes.
If there's no further business for the LDC, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
all those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
We are done. All right. We'll now move into the IDA, excuse me. It is Wednesday, July 15th. Town of Brookhaven Industrial Development Agency meeting. Following board members are present. Callahan and Pally, Mr. Trotter, Mr. Braun. Form is present and by Zoom and Marie Shea. First order of business, we have minutes for 3 meetings, May 27, June 16, June 17th. Take a motion.
So moved.
Second. Any
Second,
questions on any of those minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Lori, quickly.
Okay, and quickly, including your package is the operating results of the IDA from January 1st through June 30th. If there's any questions, let me know. I do want to mention that we've had a closing since the last period we spoke, Port Jeff Commons. And also we've had one extension of the sales tax. Are there any questions regarding that? I also will read quickly. All payroll taxes and related withholdings have been paid in a timely manner. All regulatory reports have been filed. And all the pilots have been dispersed. Thank you, Jocelyn. And any questions on any of the reports?
So the sales tax was just an extension of time, no additional money, right?
Right, correct.
For which project?
For AOE.
Motion to accept Lori's report.
So moved.
I'll second it. Any questions?
Enrique trumps up.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Okay, and I said I would not do that, and then I totally forgot. It was because I was running around doing other things. Sorry, guys. We have an application for Watch Hill Hotel Group LLC. Just quickly, I'll just update that it's approximately $47 million project. The expectation is 40 FTEs. They are requesting a 20-year pilot. It's in Patchogue Village. The information was included in your packets, but we have representatives from the project, so I'm gonna have them come up and say a few words. Sorry, like it's in 5 minutes going for that. You wanna, are you?
the camera?
Yeah, great. Which question, right, too?
Thank you, Lisa. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my name is Daniel Deegan, from Jelly Deegan, Toronto, Uniondale, New York, on behalf of the applicant. I also have with me today the applicant team, we'll call them, but Yair Yesh is the principal and his wife is here as well, who's also going to be an owner of the project. We also have representatives from Core Construction and also from JM2, who is the architects on the project. So this is a very exciting project. I know you guys are very familiar with the revitalization of the downtown of the village of Patchogue and the leadership of Mayor Pontieri that's been going on for over a decade at this point. This project is one of the crowning jewel of the downtown. It's something that's the village has been looking for a long time, and the mayor is a huge proponent of, which is basically a luxury hotel, very amenity driven, amenity rich hotel located right next to the Watch Hill Ferry Terminal, right near the train station. Really a huge compliment to everything else that's been done in the downtown. We're talking about a 122-room hotel. It's a 5-story building. The top floor would have a restaurant and bar and amenities such as a gym, spa, and other. It's an amenity-rich hotel, as I said before. It would be under the Hilton Tapestry brand. If you're not familiar with Tapestry, it's a kind of unique, considered very high-end brand that's allowed for a lot of flexibility to be sensitive to the, the local culture and architectural stylings. And, I was talking with Pierre before, and it really allows them to, honor the history and heritage of the Patchogue area and everything that's happening there. Whereas a lot of other hotel brands make you do things exactly their way or the highway, and you have to name the rooms a certain way, and you don't have any choices and that kind of thing. So, as I said, the hotels, and Lisa mentions the $47 million project, been in the works for a long time. It's been on the drawing boards of the village for a long time. If you go to the village's website, it has a coming soon page that this is aspirational to have a hotel come here at some point. The village approved a change of zone and also a site plan approval last year. There's some tweaks that are being done to it now in the site plan, but it's pretty much an approved project. And as I said, has tremendous support locally. The problem is, as time goes on, and I'm sure you hear from one applicant after another, construction costs are going through the roof. Tariffs and interest rates and supply chain, everything that's happened over the last couple of years, construction is really going up and up and up. A project like this, while it's a huge amenity and exciting for really for the whole town, not just the village, doesn't work on its own. We need to have help from this IDA to help us phase in the taxes that would be created. I mean, right now, the property is producing next to nothing in taxes. After this, even with a very beneficial pilot, will be a huge incremental revenue generator for the village, school district, and the town and county. So, I mean, it'll be an economic win-win. It's going to attract tourists. A project like this will be a staging point for Fire Island. It'll be a staging point for the village. People will come out to this hotel by itself because it's going to be a destination where you can stay, have all the amenities that are there. There's also going to be, a cafe on the first floor as well. So it's very public oriented, the hotel. It was designed in a way to really complement the downtown and not be a standoff or standalone building with a huge parking lot in front. Just talking to the architect, he's mentioning that this really is something that's going to be integrated to the downtown. So I don't know if Yash wanted to say anything, but his passion for this project is unbelievable, and I think it's matched maybe only by the mayor's passion for it. So, but we need this IDA's assistance. As I said, we're looking for a 20-year pilot that phases in taxes. We're looking for sales tax exemption, mortgage recording tax exemption, consistent with what this IDA typically would do. This is a tourism destination. It is going to draw a significant number of visitors from outside of Nassau and Suffolk County. There's no doubt about it, which is going to be an economic driver, not only for the hotel, but for the surrounding downtown, which is key to sustaining the downtown like this. And, we're here to ask that you would just accept the application at this point and hopefully, in the end, support what we were going to do. I'm sorry, yes, no, you wanted to say anything, you don't have to, but.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to hear from us. So this project has been in the works since 2022 for us. I met with the mayor back in the end of 2022, and he was telling me how he doesn't have any event space for people who want to come into the village and do a lot of events. So we went ahead with this plan. The village was terrific working with us, amazing people. I've never been to Patchogue before, and this is I've really fallen in love with the area. My wife was there with me several times. We really wanted to build this hotel in a way that it's fun. It's not just about money. It's about also making it in a way that works historically within the village. Like, for example, James, the lead architect, and I were talking about doing something like have a homage wall to some of the older families from the neighborhood. That's why we went from a tempo brand, which is a hard brand, to a tapestry brand, which allows us to do more historical things. We can, for example, I wanted to pull the suites that we have there. By like the Bailey suites or something, for the Bailey lumber mill, things like that. They don't allow us to do that. So let's switch to the tapestry, give us more flexibility to do other things. we moved, we created a swimming pool, infinity pool on the rooftop, which the village board really loved. And we have the restaurant, we moved the gym upstairs, also give us more event space. So now we can have 5,000 some odd square feet there. At about 80% occupancy, we bring about 70 some odd thousand new visitors to the area. So the idea is that this hotel should really be an amazing place. We have GF Hotel and Resorts. I just told them they got the gig yesterday.
The management company.
Yeah, and they're running the #1 tapestry. They told me. I said not for long. We're going to be the #1 tapestry. So that's our goal, essentially, make this like a really amazing location, a place that becomes very active and really helps support and as Dan said, it's the crowning jewel for the downtown Patchogue area, and I think it will be. So thank you for your time. If you have any questions about the specifics, Nicole and Gene, the project detail.
Would you say with the management company?
GF Hotel and Resorts. They operate several Hilton hotels. They run about 150, 160 hotels around the country. They're also based, one of the key players is actually in Long Island. They're running the Yorktown Hotel in Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania. The main person in the area lives in Philadelphia. So he's very local, which is what I liked about them. They're very excited about the hotel.
Do you own any other hotels at this point?
I don't know any of them. This is my first one. I've done condo projects, residential projects in Brooklyn, Bronx, things like that. But
And who's going to build this for you?
So we're working with Core Concepts and Westrat with Nicole. So we're finishing the pre-con right now, but we've assembled a fantastic team, including Leonardo, which is going to be the design company. We're hiring the branding consultant probably by tomorrow. We interviewed 3 of them last week. So pretty much have the entire team ready to go. Our first major kickoff with everyone. Now that we've got everyone on board, it's going to occur tomorrow. And our hope is my intent is to try to break ground by October at the latest. I told Paul that I want him to do the ribbon cutting, and he leaves March 31, 2028. So I told everyone we must finish by March 2028. That's our goal. So that's where we're aiming for.
And one of the other things I should just mention is one of the things driving the cost, because $47 million is a pretty high cost for a project like this, is that it is being done with very high quality construction materials. It's also resulting in, there's some amenity space that outside there's a marsh area or.
Right, so we're landscaping the entire area, painting a promenade, basically where that sort of federal land location is right next door, right between us and the marina. So we're gonna turn that into like a beautiful, walkway, people can put up there, things like that.
This is not gonna be a cookie cutter hotel that can just take out of a box and put up. It's gonna be a very curated, beautiful place. It's gonna be very unique.
Sounds like
It's a long night.
If I remember the application, that thing that was on the application. Well, $47 million project, I think the equity was 3+. How is a bank in this day and age going to finance that much of a construction project?
So we've already invested about $6.5 million of equity into the project. We keep investing until we get the actual bank on board. We need probably another maybe $1 million or $2 million with banks I've spoken to at this point. I've spoken to Acres, I've spoken to some C-based lenders as well that we're working with, Peachtree and others. So we're finalizing those numbers. So we expect to have all that set up within the next.
I think it's a good idea.
I would say 2 weeks, but let's say about a month.
A $3 million equity number on the application that I like for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
At the end of the project,
application,
we're
but
hoping,
at the end of
we're hoping that the loan will allow us to use some of the equity. We start, you're gonna perform. Now we funding. So at this point, before we get the capital,
We shouldn't.
when the bank comes in, they're going to give us credit for the equity that we have, let us to a certain amount of.
I used to
equity.
be in bowling
So either we need additional capital or to the equity, so yeah, just all the rent.
I need more. You have a copy of that commitment on this issue by the bank.
Okay.
Okay, once we get that, we'll send it over.
I mean, so the goal is to get as large a loan as possible.
I understand.
Least expensive money.
Yeah, I want to commend you for taking on that project. I know it's been Paul, the mayor's dream for a lot of years to get that hotel in Patchogue, and so it looks like it's on its way. But I'm confused as to why you need 20 years and why you need the IDA.
The
How
cost-
does it fit into what our requirements are in relation to what you're asking for.
Well, 20 years is a deviation. And, you know, it's because of
A big deviation,
that,
a big deviation.
well, you know, but this is a special project and the costs are higher for some of the reasons that we mentioned. You know, the quality of construction, all the amenities that are being, a less expensive project could just be putting up a hotel you see all over the place in other parts of the island. This is real specimen type of unique construction that's going to cost a lot more money to build. Some of the work that's being required or offered with the village to improve the greenways around there in this marsh area. All that cost to the project that wouldn't normally be there. And when you do a financial analysis of here what the costs are, here's what the projected incomes are, here's what the taxes would be without an IDA, it doesn't pencil out and no bank is going to lend money to it. So the numbers and the financial analysis that's been done to date shows that this is the level of pilot support that we would need in order to attract the bank and and ultimately equity to feel that this is a good investment that can get a rate of return on the project.
Yeah, I still think 20 years is, you know, is a stretch for us. Not to say, you know, that it's not worthy of what you're asking for, but it is a stretch.
Other questions from the board?
Looks like a great project.
Anne Marie, go ahead.
Sure, I just want to reinforce a couple of the things that Frank just said. Yes, it's costly construction. It is going to be the crown jewel of Patchogue. Patchogue will no doubt help you promote it and market it. You've got a stellar management team that has a lot of experience. So I repeat Frank's question, 20 years? You know, of course, that we can step the application of property taxes in a variety of ways. Why do we have to go out to 20 years?
Well, I would say, you know, we'll work with the IDA staff and consultants to determine something that can work, but we know it's 20 years with what projecting of a kind of a straight line phase, and that's what would make the project feasible. Are there other ways possibly to be structured that would be financially equivalent? Maybe, and we'd be willing to, you know, work with
Maybe we could review that and, you know, before we make a final decision.
Maybe we could have Camoin do a study and give us sort of where their needs are and a pilot that kind of gets us to that
Both.
tipping point.
I think that would be a great idea and, you know, would help us to, you know, work with this project.
Right, okay. All right, fair enough, we would expect that, so.
If there are no further questions, I need a motion to accept
Motion.
the application. Or a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we got you guys out with time to spare, so the next.
Thank you.
Your time.
Yep. Have a good day. Looks really nice.
Yeah, but that.
Well, that's about that like that, so it's gonna be cool.
No. I only know what we put in. Right. All the perspectives that have been there.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is actually, you know, since we have guests, why don't I take some things out of order?
Sure.
Wait, do we have guests on is there anybody on this? All right. Yeah, you know what, these will be quick, I think. We have a request we have a subtenant application for 10 Donald's Way. It was included in your packet. It's Gamis LLC. So 10 Donald's Way, just to remind everybody, is a industrial warehouse. They have a subtenant in most of it, and then Gamis is going to take the remaining space in that space. They're off Horse Cloth.
Yes.
So this is except the application and the resolution. That's what's on the agenda.
So move.
Second,
Second.
questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Okay, And then FW1 is a subtenant for the Ron Cub Phase 2A project. This is it's the French workshop, it's a bakery.
Oh, yeah.
Again, an application and resolution.
Motion?
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, I was right, that was gonna be pretty quick. We have guests here from Rail Realty. To remind everybody, I think this was last year, we got an application request to extend their pilot. This is an existing housing project in Port Jeff, but upper Port Jeff. They have told us that they're going to be investing $600,000 of money into the project. They're requesting a 10-year pilot. Just to remind everybody, it's a 77 unit complex. And when we did this project originally, we did not require affordable units. So that would be something that we could consider now is a requirement of affordable units. And we have a Camoin study that was included in your packet. I didn't put the application and stuff in because you already saw it, and the Camoin study kind of does the overview of everything, but the Camoin study is in your packets. And I think Peter has something to say.
Good afternoon, members of the board and staff. Thank you. I'd say Peter Curry, Farrell Fritz, 400 RXL Plaza, Uniondale, New York. I'm here on behalf of applicants. With me is Tony Gito, Rob Gito, and Joe Gito, who are principals of the applicant. You're correct, Lisa, the application went in last September. Since that time, we've got a Camoin report, which is, and actually that application had different affordability requests on our part. We are now willing to do 20% of the units at 80% AMI, which was discussed, I believe, at the last meeting before the board. You commissioned a Camoin report, and the Camoin report is, I would say, a detailed report. It's a good report for certain purposes, but I would say its accuracy is a little suspect. And even in the report with regard to interest rates, if you take a look at the report, they make a statement right in it indicating that this was a projection which was done at a specific time, and we should be very careful in agreeing to the assumptions with regard to financing rate of 5.5%. And speaking to the client, it looks like money is at least 1% higher than that at this stage of the game for this type of financing, which would have an effect on the operating, or not the net operating income, but the overall income of the property. Another point that we want to make with regard to this is they have insurance at 2% increase per year. I think all of us, probably everybody in this room has insurance, and nobody's insurance has gone up by 2% in any of the last several years. So the projection of insurance and where it's going to be over the course of time, I think we'd have to use a much higher number if we start to look at the last 5 years historicals with regard to insurance. So the net income that's in this, I think, is overly optimistic with regard to the amount that's going to the developer. The other thing that we wanted to discuss is, this assumes a pilot at starting at essentially land only with a 10% improvements as the first year. That that's up to the board, a discussion with us and the board as to the actual level of the pilot. I think we believe that pilot level is going to be higher than that, so that more taxes would be paid rather than land at 10%. We're looking for a 10-year pilot, but we assume we'd be kind of 70% abatement, not at a 100% abatement with regard to improvements, or 90% of where it is here. So again, that changes the numbers, and the client is here to discuss, first of all, how they're renting. So Tony has all of his rental numbers so that we can discuss what he is charging on these largely 1-bedrooms, which is not market rate. It's more closer to affordable rate. I think he can provide detail on that. We also have detail with regard to the capital expenditures that will be talked about initially, as opposed to the ongoing future capital expenditures. We talked to that also. So Tony, maybe you could discuss.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Anthony Cheeto, managing member of Rail Realty, 414 Main Street, Suite 202, Port Jefferson, New York. I brought with me copies of the lease summary of all of our leases at the location. And the reason we're here today, the main reason we're here today, is because this particular board was gracious enough to give us a 10-year pilot program 10 years ago, which in lieu of raising the rents to a market rate, I shared the benefits with the tenants. I will distribute these to all of you, which will show you that right now on our one bedrooms, we're averaging 27, 28, 29 max. Two bedrooms, we're getting 31, 32, 33. We don't have many two bedrooms, mostly all one bedrooms, 74 apartments, predominantly made up of resident physicians at Stony Brook University Hospital. Approximately 50 of them are from there. And one could ask, why did you do that? I was raised very poor. I know what it's like people to pay their rent. So I decided to share the benefits with the tenants. We can get these out and they will tell you that most of these rents are just a little bit above what workforce and affordable component is today. Okay. What I'm confronted with today is, as Peter explained, my interest rate is right now 3.4. Next September, we thought it would be 5.5. Who knows? We're over 6% these days. My insurance on my entire portfolio, I own shopping centers, I own office buildings, I own apartment buildings. My insurance last year went up 100%. I would like to continue sharing benefits with the 74 people that are there. As I said, approximately 50 of them are physicians. We have some widows that sold their homes. They wanted to maintain a residency in Port Jefferson. We have some empty nesters that wanted to sell their homes, but yet wanted a place in Port Jefferson for their children and grandchildren. And then there were some young professionals that are doing well. But to keep these rents at a level that's just above an affordable component, I'm looking for some assistance from IDA. In addition to that, Rob will explain to you, my son Rob, the $600,000 component as to what we're looking to do with those funds, if you don't mind. I'd like Rob to explain that for you. Sure.
Before Rob does it, I just want to make sure I understand this. So since taking the first listing, it shows that from 8/15/25 to 8/14/26, the rent is 3,300.
That's two bedroom.
Yes. And then it also shows 8/15/26 to 8/14/27. Does that mean that it's a 2-year?
Some of them, there are very few 2 years, but there are some.
And so if there's two listings like that, does that mean that it's a 2-year?
Not necessarily. It could be a new tenant we've already rented to.
Okay, so that's just.
Why
Or they,
don't you look at specifically what she's
Yeah.
pointing out?
look, so this person right
Is
here,
it the same person? Under
yeah, well, it's two people.
Then it's a different rental.
No. This is the rent they were paying. This is the rent they were paying, this is the rent they're paying in the lease renewal. This means they stayed, this is their lease renewal.
Okay.
Okay,
So they
Exactly.
started at
So
33
they're
and
gonna
went to
renew-
34.50.
That means they renewed at this price.
okay.
So that's what the rent is. That would be.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I understood.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Right,
I just
everybody
wanted to
understand
make
it?
sure.
What I thought.
So in the first listing of 101, it's 3,300 going to 34.50.
Yes,
Two bedroom,
Yeah,
Yes.
understood.
which, as you know, I own other apartments within Port Jefferson. For that apartment in other buildings, we're now getting 42 to 4,500.
Well, that
That's
was
the market.
Right,
That's
that was,
my
that was the question I was gonna ask.
That's the
We
market.
have the newer building, which you guys personally helped us with as well, across the street.
Right,
That's why we know the affordable rental number is just under 2,500 at 80% AMI. And the rents we're getting there, the one bedrooms, the 2 to 35, the twos, as we said,
are those comparable? Cause obviously Upper Port has more than just you. I don't mean it that way, but
Correct.
there are other landlords, there are other projects in Upper Port.
Not 100% market rate, we're the only ones.
Right, but the other, the
Part of
Tritech project
That's downtown.
That's downtown.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
how,
they're
that's how you
getting-
delineate.
They're getting $5,000.
Right, I know, but the point is, well, from my perspective, the point is still, it's in Port Jeff,
Yes,
right? It's about a mile apart.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, maybe about that,
Yes.
yeah.
and the market rate there, we're not arguing right or wrong.
Oh, sure.
It is, okay, for a one bedroom is somewhere between $45,000 and $5,000.
That's correct.
Okay, so you, a mile away, I don't care if it's upper port, lower port, doesn't matter to me, is 60% of that number,
Yes.
basically.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, and your intent is to keep it, relatively speaking, in that area
Correct.
based upon the numbers set out.
Yes.
Am I missing something, Peter?
No.
Except that to the extent that those rents exceed what an 80% person would pay, 20% of the units will now.
Right,
be limited
Right,
to
because,
that.
if the refinancing goes forward and we include that as a requirement, a condition, whatever word you wanna come up with, those units would be restricted to the 80% rent number as opposed to the 60% of the other number.
Correct.
That's basically what I'm.
And the number today in the village of Port Jefferson for affordable is $2,600.
Right, so it's basically the same context.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
What is the occupancy rate?
Thank you.
Are you
100%.
100%? Okay, that's,
I'll let Rob speak.
If they weren't 100%, we'd all have a problem
yeah, well, that's where I was going.
at that project.
Well, it's two schools of thought. Some people say you should be at, it means your rents are too low. That's what some people,
Well-
the finance world, they'll say, if you're at 100%, you're doing something wrong, you're not charging enough.
Right.
That, we believe, we would rather have a full building.
Right,
And if you have a vacancy, you're getting zero.
Right.
Well, that's how we,
That's how we view it.
yeah.
got it, okay.
Don't we have a project up there too, the
Uh,
Concord?
I'm just gonna
Realty
pass
Concord?
these around if you don't mind.
Right,
Yeah.
close to that.
So these are
What are their
the,
rents?
just the
Do we know
breakdown,
what their rents are?
it's actually $620,000 we're proposing. We've also had some conversations with the mayor,
Still, I'm trying to-
Sheffield, Port Jefferson Village.
I'd like to,
And as a result of that, actually four of the items on here are not just benefits to our building, but to the community in uptown Port Jefferson. I'm just gonna, you guys can see the other items, which are mostly interior, well, building specific capital improvements, but the last four items, the village of Port Jeff is financially strained at the moment. They're not even able to replace or repair lanterns around the village. So we propose that we would replace and fix decorative lanterns that are around the building. We contribute to a new walkway. We do have one or two other projects we're looking to hopefully build along Main Street in Port Jeff. And this would connect the people from Rail Realty to Main Street. As Main Street starts to grow and have some vibrancy, we want the tenants from Rail Realty to be able to take advantage of that and have a nice, well-lit, well-decorated and landscaped walkway. So that'd be part of it. There's also a playground that's behind our building along Texaco Avenue. It's a pocket park. It's called the Texaco Avenue Park. We contribute towards that. And then there's also, they've created an uptown fund, or in the middle of creating an uptown dedicated fund for specific projects up there. For example, there's a historical home. I think it's called the Tucker House. So that's a home that they're looking to not only purchase the village, maybe they purchased it already, but they need money to fix it up. So this $50,000 line item there would go towards that. So once again, $170,000 would be towards community and the rest would be more such.
At the mayor's suggestion.
Yes.
That's where I was gonna go.
Yeah.
What, do we have any correspondence from the village or the mayor
Not
or
for,
support? It sounds like she's,
she's,
I could assume,
yeah,
but-
she is working on a letter with her board for
Okay.
support. I don't have that.
okay, that's fine.
So.
I'd like to open it up for any questions.
well, I have a question for Lisa. Lisa,
Yeah.
don't we have another project that's on the corner of the railroad tracks, Concord? You know, it's affordable and so forth, but
Across the street, so this project is set back a
I know
little
where it
bit,
is. Yep,
but if you could fly over the buildings across the street, we have the Port Jeff Crossings project, which is constructed and Port Jeff Commons, which we just closed on.
Correct, same guy, but what are those apartments going for, 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms?
They're 100% affordable.
I'm just still curious what the number.
I don't know off the top of my head, but those are restricted to like 50% of the AMI, I think in some cases. There's some 30% of the AMI.
Okay.
We're talking deeply discounted.
Discount, okay.
But that restricts who is eligible to go into it.
Right.
So
And also tax credit deals.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
How long would it take to get to 15 or 16, whatever the number is, for 14 units?
Yes, we talk, I mean, as, we don't wanna kick people out,
No,
but
I know.
as the units become vacant, we would just turn those into the affordable unit. So how quickly would that happen? I would think, about a year and a half, I would think that.
I would think within the year, most of our apartments come up between April and August. So I would say by this time next year, we would have 100% of workforce and affordable for what we're obligated to do. Within 1 year.
that's why I was asking about the date.
Yeah, within one,
Figure it out.
yeah, we find that April, we start getting phone calls in March. April is when everything starts to turn, and by the beginning of September, we're done. Trying to rent, October, November, December, January, February, is very difficult. So by this time next year, we would have to be 100%. The residents.
So you say they're doctors, but they're residents under residence.
All right, so let's talk about that. We're very fortunate. Here's what's going on. Some of them have a 4-year residency, some of them have a 5-year residency, some have a 6-year residency. We've been very fortunate because what occurs is the person who's now leaving says to the new person coming in, says, where do you live? And they call us, and we're just rolling them over to another position. That's what's happened.
Except for the 20% of units, which will be dealt with separately.
Right.
But may still have an affiliation with tenants from the university,
Yeah.
just in
Oh,
different,
absolutely.
just in different circumstances.
Those tenants for the affordable units are gonna be the humanities people.
Medical students, is that what you're saying?
Us old political science majors, right, right. But I mean,
Yeah, yeah. So how many units would that be? About 15?
I think it'll be 20% and 10, correct?
No, 60.
Yeah, it's about.
16.
Yeah.
We were close.
Yeah.
I think it's 50. We have 74 units.
Oh,
15.
Yeah, we have 74 units.
That's what I said.
Right over here.
That's it.
15
On that one.
15 units.
You'll take the 0.8.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you very much. for the
Thank you.
information. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a vote on or
Uh,
what do you do?
I need direction from this board because we have to hold a public hearing, so I need to know what you wanna do, if you wanna think on it, I don't know how you wanna.
Yeah.
But
Well, I can only say for me, I can't speak for anybody else. This project to me has a niche. Okay? It's not affordable in a way that people are restricted from being in there. And it's significantly below market rate. It has a niche in the middle, which is directly attuned to what we try to do in the community, especially with the university. So just speaking for me, I think it's a great idea and I would continue to support it.
Like we just.
And with the inclusion of the 20% affordable, which I think is an important component of where we're going.
I
Right.
think we just need to discuss a little bit as to how we want to, structure the plan.
Yeah, that I leave to
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys.
the rents are cheap, I would say.
some stuff and we'll be in touch.
Well, so that you're holding a public hearing, are we accepted and then there'll be a public hearing and a final authorizing resolution? Just trying to figure out where we
need to
are.
Make sure that we're all on the same page, and when we are all on the same page, we'll definitely let you know.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The rents are cheap.
I think for. He just came down.
Mine's paying $3,600 for 1 bedroom in Farmingdale. So if I take $3,600 and I say, hey, Junior, you could have came over here. I think some of his.
All right, enjoy the rest of your.
I agree. I agree.
It seems like we're happy to see him.
The rents look cheap.
Okay, we have 2 other items on the agenda. We have C&K Development, the Portwoods Estates, they I think they're pretty close to closing, but they asked for an extension through September 25th to 26th. We'll just mention that in their request, they asked if we would waive the $500 fee for the extension.
Because I paid it the first time.
Yeah, but we have had other projects that have paid it more than once.
Fine, then, I get more than once.
Okay.
They can pay it again.
They can pay it
Pay
again.
again.
Pay it again.
Are you okay with the extension to 9/25/26?
Well,
Yeah, here we go again. Why don't you make it 12/31? Everybody always underestimates
Yeah.
that date, unfortunately.
like they did the first time.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Sure,
Everybody.
they have to pay the fee, right?
12/31?
12/31 is fine.
12/31 is fine.
Okay,
Need a motion on that, Lisa?
Yeah, please.
So move.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
we have another request from the Holtzville Energy Storage Project to extend their resolution to 10/1/27.
the Hootsville and.
That's.
It's in litigation.
Oh,
That's
it's a
why.
year from now, huh?
Yeah,
Battery
that's-
storage.
Oh,
10/1/27.
No. Why?
Well, because of the
Litigation.
It's
litigation,
in litigation.
the litigation, that's the problem.
I think we have representatives, if you guys have questions you want to ask them.
oh, it's been litigation, is that?
Yeah.
Matt, is that,
Which one, Lee?
Doesn't change anything.
Yeah, I don't think they're in.
Move at a glacial place. Something's right.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, his hand.
Okay, well, let me just see, does anybody have questions for their counsel and the
why do you
representative?
need that long? Would be.
Yeah, go ahead. They
Yeah, let
outlined it a little bit in their letter also.
Yeah, look at this. But it's okay. That's why I wanted it.
Yeah,
He's here.
and Drew Gibbons also, please.
I'm quite an expert in it.
That's all right.
Rob, you have your self muted.
Yeah, hi, everybody. Rob Hanashi from Young Summer in Albany, the attorney for Holtzville. And I'll let Drew can give an update on the project itself and why we're asking for the extension.
Yep, I can do that. And sorry for my location here. I'm on the road today. Appreciate you letting me join. I would say yes, the project is in litigation, but we're in the final stages there, and that's not why we're asking for the extension here. The final briefs are in the judge's hands, and we're expecting a ruling within the next few weeks or months at the most. Why we're here, I'll just summarize. One thing I'm having a difficulty. So a year ago, we were here and we had some pre-construction items to complete. We needed an easement from National Grid. We were procuring equipment, but the biggest items that remained at that time were securing a commercial agreement to sell the power and securing a financing partner to finance construction. We were optimistic on the commercial agreement at the time, and we made progress on that. And we were very close at that time to securing construction financing. In fact, we were at the finish line on a deal on financing, and then the federal government introduced some uncertainty, at first with tariffs, and then with a potential change to tax treatments of storage projects. And we weren't able to close with that specific financing partner. So we had to seek a new one. We weathered that storm, and the project is economically viable, but finding a new financing partner can take 6+ months, and it did in this case. I would say at this point, though, again, the two biggest factors are securing that financing, which we are, hope to have an announcement soon on that, and securing a commercial agreement, which very optimistic on where we are with that, and also hope to have news to share there. It would put us in line to start construction by October of next year at the latest, and be online and by mid-28. We're currently negotiating agreements that would put us in line for that.
Thank you.
Drew, just a question. Who's on either side of that lawsuit? Are you defendant or are you plaintiff?
We're the plaintiff. It's a Suffolk County Health Department. We were denied a variance for our transformer. I can get into the details if helpful. I'm not sure if this group wants to get into that.
Yeah, you have any?
Nope.
Okay,
No. Okay.
everybody all right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guy. So we have to make a motion to,
To extend it till October of 27. Is that the date?
Yep, 10/1/27.
so moved.
Second. I'll second it. Everybody, all those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have just a couple of other things. One, we need to pass a resolution to move the Wednesday, August 19th meeting to 10 a.m. for the IDA. Since
So move.
Second.
second,
All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried.
I want to just let everybody know that Amy is working on doing another bus tour.
Nice.
So we're working on some options and you had a couple, you were thinking
It's a little
early
cooler,
October?
a little cooler.
Montauk trip is earlier this year,
Yeah,
so I was hoping maybe right after that. I don't know if anyone's traveling in late October, but I wanted to fit it in before the holidays started.
Makes sense.
And I feel like October's still fairly nice weather, so if anybody has a conflict, I'm looking at the last 2 weeks in October.
Right.
And I can send you a bunch of different dates and then we can break it
Yeah,
up
that'd be
from there,
good.
but I
Yeah.
just wanted to try to
Yep,
narrow it
that's
down a
fine.
bit.
And I think their initial thought was to start and at station yards.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice. Can we find the hidden door somewhere where we could go into the speakeasy?
Go to the
I'm sure
French
Randy-
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the only other item on the agenda is that we need to go into executive session to discuss, hold on, I must say it properly, to discuss matters pertaining to the employment history of a particular person.
In that,
Yes.
okay.
Wait a
Question.
Does the
town have a battery storage thing that using that?
Do we have a motion to?
We
go
have a
into
couple
executive
small
session?
ones.
so moved.
We have one that's being built,
Aye.
we have one that's operating,
Castle.
fine, it's tiny.
Will you get?
Everyone's freaking out about it.
I need a motion to return to the
So
regular.
move.
Second.
All
second,
those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed?
No action was taken in executive session. Just adding that to the record.
Correct.
So we have one, resolution in front of the board to, change the salary of the, particular person.
So move.
second,
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Any other business to be brought before the meeting?
No.
In that
Do we
case,
have-
we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Thank you.
Hi, thanks, everybody.
thank you.
Sorry I was late. I was